just blow your mind. Talking absolute DC and leaving everything else behind. Sayako, it's the Weird Science DC Comics Absolute DC Show. It's the Weird Science DC Comics Absolute DC Show. So let's go.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Weird Science Absolute Show. I'm here with my man, Matt. What up, Matt?
What up, Jim?
What is up is two books. We ended up skipping a couple weeks ago. We didn't do the Wonder Woman. You were out of town, and I was out of time. I don't know. I think that we just ended up not having time to do it, and I figured, we were going to do it during the annuals week, but then that would kind of rip some people off, I guess. That's what they would say. That's pretty low. So we're going to do it now. Wonder Woman with the Superman that just came up will be caught up just in time for Gray to join me next week for the Batmans, if I can get a hold of him. I haven't been able to talk to him lately.
Oh, I haven't heard him in a while.
He's been busy.
Oh, how dare he?
Things going on. There's always a holiday over there in Japan. It's like Golden Week, one deal, which I don't know. I think R. Kelly likes that freaking thing. So we'll see. But also his daughter was in town. And when his daughter comes down, he doesn't see her that much. So we ended up spending the weekend with her and his wife, his lovely wife, I'll say. But here we are with the two books. And lately, I've been on a couple other shows and even our show when they go. I'm getting more and more guff about us not getting to the point right away.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Haters.
I ended up, always hate. And it's like the idea, I don't want to get into it, because then it'll be 10 minutes. We'll get yelled at again. It's like the Ouroboros snake. But yeah, recently I got a lot of guff because I was on a show and somebody asked me a story like, tell this. And I did. And then I got, lambasted because of it. But we'll get into these. And then even then, when we get right into it, then people get mad on the other side. I don't know, but we'll start with Wonder Woman.
I personally like talking more about nonsense and less about the comics. That's my
usually
thing.
What happens is, and this is true, the more nonsense at the beginning means that we don't like the comic.
Yeah, that's true.
In fact, people think that we haven't done a Marvel show. We have. It just hasn't been any Marvel stuff, so we don't put it out. I'm lying, but did you see Jason throwing shade at us?
Yeah, I wanted to address that. I didn't know the appropriate time and place to do it.
Yeah. We'll wait for when we have our Marvel show, and then Jason will go with, what's that, 2 months?
Yeah. We did one for, what was the last one we did? Daredevil, or what was the last one?
Yeah, it was Daredevil.
Okay.
And we're going to do one.
A month ago.
We're planning on doing one this week. We will lambaste him there. So we do the lambasting then. I saw it. I was going to send it to you right away. I'm like, he's throwing shade at us.
He was.
That son of a gun. I'll tell you, how about this? They have to edit it from now on. We'll never see another episode out. So there you go. That's the worst. And again, I don't want to.
And also, when you edit, you remove, 20 minutes of silence?
There is a lot of silence. It's the sound of silence is what the theme is. I do that. I also remove at least an hour of Ruben's noise.
Yep.
It's what happens. And sometimes the episode will come out a day or that's all noise removal. It is crazy. Here we go. We're going to get into this before we get yelled at. It is the Absolute Wonder Woman number 19. And we were planning on doing this back in the deal. And when I went to read it, I'm like, I don't know. I think I'm reading the wrong one. It took me like 10 minutes to convince myself that we didn't talk about it. It's an okay issue. It's not my favorite Wonder Woman issue, but it has some cool things in it. And you end up having Zatanna and Zatara. Backwards word magic doesn't annoy me in this. And there's even a little joke that I laughed about the backwards word magic. But it's written by Kelly Thompson, Hayden Sherman on art, Jordi Belair colors, Becca Carey on letters, Ash Padilla, assistant editor, Chris Conroy, editor. You start off back in the day, and you end up having what is like the least sexiest Aphrodite I've ever seen. And she's
I like that outfit.
Cersei. You like that?
Yeah, I do. I don't like her giant hands.
Yeah.
But I like her ass cheeks and the
like the
sheerness
ass cheeks?
of the outfit. Yeah.
So you'll be able to avoid the man hands.
Yeah, the man hands I was just noticing after the first
got,
time.
Sausage fingers.
I think I could ignore those. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just she's you don't get to see her. She's got the veil on. What's she hiding?
Those glowing eyes.
Yeah, what's she hiding? She's not hiding the man hands. So you end up where it's what this does. It sets up a cool thing in my mind, because when Wonder Woman, goes to man's world, she's always got the gifts of the god, but the gifts are usually a sword. Even in this, you have the Troika, you have all these things, but Aphrodite's gift makes sense that she would give her a piece of herself so that she's alluring to people. And she says people are going to fall in love with her for no reason. They're going to just like her inherently. And it's kind of a curse. She says she's going to have problems because she's not going to know who really likes her. For her, it's almost the idea of like fame. Like if I was Bono, I wouldn't know if people like me, because usually people hate Bono. But the idea, like, you know what I mean? Like if we suddenly had $10 million, we wouldn't know if somebody likes us for the money or for us, and we get paranoid and stuff. And so it's kind of a cool thing, but it also shows, why she's able. It kind of takes away a bit of Diana, because she is really nice and likable, but now it's kind of a godly thing, and it's okay. It was neat because it's a different play, and it's something that I think Kelly Thompson thought, oh man, I'll do it there, and I think it's a pretty cool difference. So you have that while Gateway City's in ruin. Yeah, it is on fire. Everybody's running away. You have Steve Trevor and Etta and all them trying to get back to their safe house while they leave. Barbara Minerva just gets left behind by everybody. That becomes a thing. We knew it would. But when they're going through the city, all of a sudden the building and stuff collapses on them. I thought the Green Lanterns were in the book, because you end up having what is usually like the Green Lantern shield bubble.
It was the witches.
It's the witches. At first I thought, oh, they're crossing over. Oh, that's cool. Even though I don't read the Green Lantern book, but it's the witches. And when you go in there and they should have said, what up, witches? But when they go in, it's like, okay, it's Gaia and his sister. And they're like, okay, she's doing this. There's the Coven. They're working on all this magic to try to protect the city. And then Steve Trevor, it made me laugh. And he's like, I'm just going to get involved.
He gets right in there.
Oh, he gets right in. And like, man, people are really full of surprises here. I'm like, look at him there. He's full in.
Look at that pose.
It's weird. Yeah. And we didn't really know that he was part of that or knew what to do or whatever, but he seems to. He's there. He's right in. I think he's just trying to do it to get laid. That's what most guys would be doing there, right? But he's there, and that's fine. And it shows, they have to do something. And that's a cool thing, where they're trying to protect the city, trying to protect all this stuff. And they're calling on Hecate, all these things going on. So you end up with Steve Trevor, and it made me giggle. It did make me laugh. But then we go into that space, because when you have this going on, you had Wonder Woman use her lasso, use it on Zatara to go into this. It's supposed to be this crossroad. You see, it's like the crossroads of thread. Mm-hmm. I think it could have been a little more exciting looking, but it works. But then later, Zatara says, "Oh man, that awful, terrible place." I'm like, maybe if you're afraid of the dark, there's not much to it. But it's this crossroads of, hey, Zatara, remember this. You had to pick between your wife and your daughter. And he's been mad, saying they took his daughter away. So the idea of oh man, I made the decision with Cindella, but they also ended up taking Zatara. But then Zatanna just comes through a portal and says, hey, come with me, Daddy. And he's like, oh no, this is magic. It's nonsense. And she goes, if it was magic, it'd be backwards.
That's a good point. Yeah,
I laughed.
That's true.
So, but the thing is, though, if he's saying this is magic, I don't think he's saying it's Zatanna. It would be somebody else. Yeah. And I think they wouldn't be using it. And that's a very specific, but it was fun.
Because he knows she doesn't have the ability to do this. Somebody else is doing it.
And Zatara has been in this form for decades now.
Oh my God, on fire like
Zatanna was a baby. So he's like, this can't be you. You're older now. He can't get the concept. The funny thing is he says, I've been on fire all this time, but doesn't quite get the concept that his daughter would have grown up. But he's like, oh my God. And so that's kind of resolved. Now, remember, he was going around as a skeleton, flaming skeleton, just screaming and yelling, my daughter, my daughter. And we kept saying, why doesn't just tell him the truth?
Mm-hmm.
But some of these things in this issue, they're good, but they just like, boom. He does question it for a second. And then he's like, okay, good. They go out. And I'm like, okay, but they leave Diana still back in there. And so when they come out, Giganta's just stomping through the city. And it's pretty funny. She just yells and screams. And when you get Veronica Cale says, hey, don't worry about Wonder Woman. Don't worry about this stuff. I want Dr. Barbara Minerva, get her and bring her back.
Because I think the Giganta just wants to step on Diana.
Yeah, she just wants to do it. And she could have. Like, she's there. Wonder Woman in the regular world is just in a trance because she's stuck in that. Just let her stomp on her.
Mm-hmm.
And Giganta just wants to literally like squeeze people and stomp on them. She's pretty funny. That other guy too that works for Veronica Cale, he keeps almost getting fired some more. Also, Veronica Cale like smashing equipment and throwing coffee because of all this stuff that ends up happening. But says to Zuul, Giganta, grab Barbara Minerva. I need her. We kind of figured this. She's going to do some Erzgataga stuff. I also do like at this point where she's dealing with a lot of magic and goes, I hate magic. But in the meantime, Barbara almost gets squished with them bites.
That is funny. Like, did you bite me?
Just a little chomp. And she's like, I think I like you. But all this.
She is huge.
She's humongous.
I mean,
I like her. I think she's pretty funny. And Zatara and Zatanna are like, oh my God, it's so good to see you. I can't believe it. Oh no, we left Diana back in the crossroads. That's where you end up where you have Zatanna say, oh my God, she's trapped at the crossroads.
Mm-hmm.
That awful place. I'm like, that horrible place where I found you. First off, where else did you think? You saw her there. She was right next to him. But they got to go in and she's begging Diana, please come out. But Diana's not reacting. So
only people she would trust, I guess.
So it ends up, and again, she doesn't trust Zatanna now, even though Zatanna's trying to help, but she was an enemy. But she's like, oh, they grab the tiara and say, okay, this is something from Circe. So you can use that. It's kind of hand waving. You can use that to pretend and look like Circe.
Mm-hmm.
So then she goes in the portal, just like she did with her dad. Diana comes to, she grabs hold of what she thinks is her mom, gets pulled out, and then I thought there was going to be something about this. Now, Diana says, I screwed up. I'm going to have to pay big. I don't know the consequences, but there's going to be for the Trioka, I'm going to have to pay some consequences. We'll have to see what they are. Zatanna pulls Diana out and then goes, oh, by the way, it's me. It's not your mom. I thought Diana was going to be pissed. I thought she'd say almost like that Troika, hey, we're going to deal with this later. She goes, that's fine. She goes, we're all free. That's all that matters.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I don't know. That seemed like it was solved too quick to make it a problem in the first place. You didn't do much. Is it to show Zatanna can do that? So later she'll impersonate some people with things? Or I don't know. It just seemed very quick, right?
Yeah, very quick. Yeah, it was no questions asked. Just
the funny part of that while that's going on, Zatara ends up using a little shove and knocks Giganta down the road and probably kills multiple people. Like she gets knocked on her ass. They're ripping the city apart themselves, right?
Yeah, that happens in Superman too. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah,
he goes. You know how many people he killed when he went flying?
He goes
like
counties and states away. That's all I kept thinking. I'm like, he killed somebody.
Thousands.
It has
of people.
to be.
Yeah.
Giganta just gets knocked on her ass. It's funny, and then sends her back
Big
to her
old
cell.
ass. Yeah,
Sends her back to her cell. I think there's probably some people out there that are really into this Giganta. I like her. I'm not like one of those guys. I work with a guy who was only into like huge
female
muscular women.
bodybuilders.
Yeah, Yeah.
I don't even know if she's that. I mean, she looks normal. I think her legs are like huge for some reason.
She's just big, but I like her.
Big.
Like she gets bigger.
Big
she has
boned.
the stuff on it. She has like what looks like Apocalyptian or even Brainiac stuff on her. It looks more Apocalyptian, but you end up where it makes her bigger and smaller. But I think that those legs, and it might be her outfit too. She looks like a wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of fun. But yeah, he sends her back to the cell. So they're like, oh my God, Kale's like, what happened? Well, oh, she's in her cell. It looks like Zatara. And she's like, I hate magic. Oh my God. She has to ask again, did I stutter? Because she says then, where's poison? Yeah, where's poison? Oh, well, we don't know. She got thrown into space. And then they're like, okay, send the Iron Maiden in. He's like, into the city? Did I stutter? I needed some Bill and Ted. I should have.
It's also Stanley from The Office. He says that. Yeah, he said that to Michael. Yeah.
So it's funny, but what happens then? I expected a little more. And I'll tell you. By the end, I was like, okay, it's just another thing to fight because you see this Iron Maiden going. Zatara realizes it's coming. He freaks out. He says, "Zatanna, you got to get out of there." And then Wonder Woman says, "You guys both go out. And I'll take care of this." And Zatara's even like, this thing isn't just, it's a prison, it's a torture deal. And all of a sudden you see this ball coming in. It's like a giant, like War of the Worlds Mecca.
You know I was looking for Bruce Dickinson.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was looking for. I thought they were going to start singing Run to the Hills.
Run to the Hills, yeah.
That's what they should have said.
That's what they would, if we were watching
Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner. But no, when it's coming through, you have to have that beginning. There's as it's going through the waves and stuff. It'd be awesome. But yeah, so you end up and what I always did like is being told about the plight of the Indians by a British guy who fences. That's what I always liked as a kid. But this thing kind of comes to, and I'm like, okay, so we had the Four Killer. Then it's always like these big, things.
Kaiju things.
Yeah, kaiju things. And it's even Gigantor. So you have this, and I'm like, for the first time, I think, with something like this, I'm like, yeah, I wish it was something different. I don't know that I need.
And everything's fighting in cities, too, like inside the city.
Yeah, it's just a mecha fight now, and we'll see. But she now
I think there will be more to it than
with
that.
Zatanna.
Hopefully.
Yeah, we'll see. Again, though, I guess maybe you have more of the magic circle going. Trevor's
what's an Iron Maiden? Isn't that a coffin with like spikes in it?
Yeah. Well, it's a torture device.
And they screw it down on you?
And he says, though, this isn't just a thing to attack, it's also a torture device. I think
so if she gets inside this thing, she's...
Maybe. I think Veronica Cale she thinks it's cool to call her that. She was going to call her Judas Priest, but she didn't want to get yelled at. Then somehow she thought Cinderella was a good name, but then that wouldn't be good. So Iron Maiden. Probably one of the better ones anyway. So there you go. Yeah. Still going strong. Yeah. So
is Judas Priest, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah. Iron Maiden's a deal where they sell out like every concert they play, and they play big arena because they just stay consistent to their fans. I've read or watched a video. I
don't know how he still hits those notes
of them trying to like explain how wildly popular they are, but they have a set amount of fans, and there's a lot of them. I like them. They were never my favorite.
I like them a lot.
I like Judas Priest. But even then, I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know who I like anymore. I'm watching a lot of Sammy Hagar videos for some reason. But so she's going to fight. She's jumping up into it, it looks like. So we'll see. It also like has, the Tony Stark arm pulsers. It's got a lot of shit going
on. Yeah, this is, and even has this kind of his suit thing, this thing in the center of the suit, too.
That's crazy. But
this was a fast issue. I'd give this one. I still consistently like it. I can't. I'll just give it a straight 8. I think
I'm going to give it an 8. Yeah. I could be convinced to go down to a 7.5.
Probably. It's still better than a lot.
My highest though is an 8. I wouldn't go, but it's still good.
Not high.
And I like some of the little things in it, but boy, it was a quick read.
Some stuff made me laugh for sure.
Yeah, made me think of Iron Maiden.
Yeah, it's always good.
Try to think. I was at one point trying to figure. Like, what is my favorite Iron Maiden song? And I think it might be Run to the Hills. And that's probably like the basic bitch thing, too. But I do like that song.
I like Wasted Years. That's my favorite.
Yeah, that's good. I remember, actually, I think at one point, the idea of Eddie kind of got me more into comics at that point. Now,
really?
Like it got me to other things. I'm saying when I saw that, I thought, man, that's cool. But it didn't make me want to listen to the music. I wanted to see more art like that.
I think I was the opposite. I saw that and I was freaked out by it. I don't like horror shit, so I was like, I don't. What is this?
Yeah.
When I was a kid, and then when I got older, I liked it. So that was my take on
bands
it.
have full out mascot. That's pretty.
They don't.
Cool.
Are there any other ones?
Yeah, AC/DC. It's Malcolm. Malcolm Young. Angus should, or Guns N' Roses. They had Axl.
But I'm saying like a cartoon.
No,
character
there's
or
not
something.
a lot. Usually they'll have symbols. You have to have a logo. And Eddie, that was full out. I guess the Gorillas are all those, right?
Mm-hmm.
You could throw that in. I don't know. What's that one? Slipknot. They're all a bunch of wackos.
And
Themselves,
Gwar.
right? See, I saw Gwar. Non-makeup costume shows. Biggest disappointment
Kiss.
ever. Yeah.
All the crappy bands that Eric likes, basically, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Limp Bizkit, Twisted,
New metal.
Insane Clown Posse, all that bullcrap. But here we go. I saw a video the other day of most hated bands. I swear to God, ICP was going to be on it. They were not.
Creed?
Limp Bizkit and Creed were 2 and 1.
Yeah, for
Limp
sure.
Bizkit was number 1. They actually showed the scene from Deadpool when he's like, "You're doing this. It's like what Limp Bizkit did to music." Made me laugh. Oh yeah.
Limp Bizkit was like, "Oh, Rage Against the Machine does this really well. Let me try to do my version of this," and it just sucks.
So much nonsense.
Yeah.
And Fred Durst. Absolute Superman number 19 is next. I also, it's the same guy did a video of biggest like jokes. Limp Bizkit was number 1 on that too, specifically Fred Durst.
Mm-hmm.
But there was some like a Barbie Girl by Aqua, right?
Mm-hmm.
You think they're one hit wonder? They are not.
Not in America, they are probably.
No, America
What else
they
did
have,
they have?
because usually the hits they go by top 20, maybe a little deal. They have like 5 in America. In Europe, they have like 20. It's ridiculous. I was like, "There's no way." That song, awesome. That song couldn't even be in the Barbie movie. They wouldn't allow it.
It wasn't?
No, they redid a new one with like Cardi B and Ice Spice.
No.
I don't even like saying that. Ice Spice.
I like Ice Spice. I don't know anything about her, but I like to look at her.
Wasn't she dating? Who was it? Who was dating Bill Murray at one point? It wasn't
Can you
her,
imagine
right?
Ice Spice
I
dating
think it was the
Bill
girl who did the fucking milkshakes in the backyard was dating.
Yeah, who is
Yeah.
that? Megan Trainor or somebody?
No, that's
Khalees or whatever her name is.
something. I
Okay.
don't know. We're getting beyond my deal.
I'm getting outside of my.
I saw
my,
Megan Trainor was in like a stupid commercial where I think it was what's his name? Patrick Mahomes wants a trainer, and then she shows up, and I'm like, "Oh man, what happened, Megan?
She
like
lost a
your
lot of
career's
weight
done?"
on that Wegovy
I
or
thought,
whatever.
like, man, your career's done, and then she came out with another album like right after that, and it was kind of a hit. So just cashing in. She knows where it's at. It's a very odd commercial. Absolute Superman number 19, Jason Aaron writing, Rafa Sandoval on art, Ulysses Areola on colors. Anybody remember when Ulysses Areola started being a colorist at DC at least, and he was just known as Areola, and then
Best
he had
name
to
ever.
change it? I laughed so much, and me and Eric were like, "How is he?" And then like 2 months later, Ulysses showed up. I'm not even convinced that's his real name. Becca Carey on letters. You have the Ash Padilla and Chris Conroy again editing. I don't know this. I even talked to a couple other people about this. A lot of people were down on this issue a little more. I think it might, like, everybody was getting back on with Superman because it felt more like Superman. And then you do something like this, and it's like Superman isn't really that much of, like, he's just getting beat up.
No, he's a side character in this for sure.
And it feels dark.
Yeah, very dark.
You know what I mean?
Even the
And
opening
that's-
scene with this meat packing
I'm
stuff.
telling you, yeah.
Very dark.
I knew a guy who that was his job. Legit, that's like shit from back in the 60s. Like, they came up with things since then that I'm surprised that they even had that in here.
This
right?
is something that will really mess with your head if you have to
Yeah.
do this.
This guy, my one work that I went in, he came in and he works at a place called Lady. And he's old. He was going to retire at this point. Like, this guy was 68. And he was talking about, like, oh man, the things that I did and how they do it now. And he's like, I used to have to go in with a sledgehammer and just bash in these pigs' heads. And he's like, it's so much better now. They have a pneumatic cleaver,
They have the bolt
guillotine,
gun,
or they electrocute them. Most of the time, they walk into a room and the floor is electrocuted. I'm like, oh yeah, that's so much better. And he's like, well, it sucks when they don't die, and it's awful. I don't know why we have it here.
I hear this. I think of that old Smith songs, "Meat Is Murder."
Meat Is
it's
Murder.
like with the screaming animals in the background and stuff. And it's I don't know how I eat meat after seeing this stuff. I guess I do.
Did you see? I saw a thing online that there was a big push that for Cinco de Mayo, the best songs to listen to are the Smiths, because there was
they have
this
a huge following in South America, Central America, yeah.
And the legit, it's said in this. Now you're kind of verifying a bit, and your wife from South America, the idea where a lot of they seem to
The Cure and the Smiths
and
are
the
very
Smiths.
big there.
It's one of those where there was like a flow chart of all the things that Morrissey sings about that end up being very much themes in almost all traditional Mexican music. I was like, all right, it works. And so it was a thing this year. So you end up seeing John Henry Iron. And we already kind of knew he made the Peacemaker stuff. He ends up working for Lazarus. But you see that at one point I thought he was peeing blood when he was laying there. But also, don't like these thought bubbles in this. It threw me off a bit.
Really? I was happy to see him in there.
Nah, just the idea of it. First off, it reminds me of that Supergirl book. But also, it's like the way that they're playing this, and I should maybe come up with a better way to say this, but a lot of it is he's kind of a pussy, but he tries to convince himself not to be. And like, I don't know, this character's odd. Because then
he said he was a millionaire, but then he's working $7 an hour at this factory.
Because they promised him that, Raish.
But he's like the smartest guy in the room.
Yeah, he is. So Raish ended
goes.
up where John Henry came up with all this tech, and Raish promised him, oh man, I'm going to give you $3 million for this. And he never did. He gave him a $7 an hour job.
Yep.
And so he's doing that. He's fixing, and I'm telling you, the job when talking to that guy and things like that, the job that I did was a hydraulics repair thing. I had to do exactly what was going on, where I was underneath the worst shit, like at meat packing plants. It's awful. And the smell, I swear to God, I can still smell it. It's that bad. So he's under there. So he's better than me. The one time I went, I made sure I put a mask on because I didn't want shit falling in my mouth.
Yeah.
It's bad. But he's there, and then they're like, okay, well, you're done fixing that. Now we'll go to the sluice floor, and you can end up bashing a guy's head in.
It's weird they give him his hammer that he uses for superhero.
Yeah.
It's weird, right?
So it is. But he's going through, and the people are like, hey, John, my grandmother said that the car's going great. You fixed the deal. So he helps people. You're getting that. But then why show him that he's bashing in this poor cow?
One day we're going to figure out somehow down the line that cows are the most intelligent things ever. And
now, look at this thing. This cow is pissed. He's really upset.
Yeah.
Also, just to point out, the idea for the most part, from what I've heard, they stopped doing stuff like this, not because it was inhumane. It's because the crazy trauma from it would end up affecting the meat at points because of blood flow and
you don't want the animal to be scared when it happens.
It's not like they're like, man, that's really bad. They're like, no, we need to figure out a way to make this better. So they'll electrocute them or use this, like I said, a pneumatic hammered guillotine type thing.
Yeah, you just stick it up to their temple and poof.
But again, electrocution is probably the best because there's, you don't have to pick up a lot of pieces and do that.
Plus, you don't want as much mess either.
That's what I'm saying. Like you chop off a head, you got shit to do.
Look at these jerks, these guys. They're like waving to the camera as he's walking.
Yeah, look at them.
They're giving the thumbs up and stuff.
Dude, they're smart.
What are they doing?
They have the masks on. What they're doing is earning $7.25 an hour.
God.
Yeah, it's bad. And it just threw me off. I know maybe I'm the pussy, but I'm reading this and I'm like, it just brought back bad memories. And it's just awful. But again, from this, we know that John's smart, right?
Yeah.
People are, he's fixing old ladies' hair. He's a nice guy. What does this mean? Is it that, well, when he has to do so, I don't know. I don't know why you do it.
I think it sets up some kind of inconsistencies in his personality later on.
He is talking to himself at points, like almost like they're playing that he's like dual personality type thing,
Yeah.
but that character usually isn't, which is funny
No,
because
he's
the character that
easygoing,
usually
straight-laced.
would be Shazam. You
Yep.
know what I mean? So are they playing because Black Adam in this is called King Shazam. He's still Death Adam, but I don't like that either. But is it going to play? I don't know, because also his outfit looks like the human bomb. He's got a lot of weird things. Like, of all the characters, this is one of the, in the Absolute Universe, I'm not like, man, that's a neat change. It's weird.
No, I'm still optimistic about it, but it
I
seems
think
weird.
he's a good guy,
Mhm.
but I do think that he might snap.
Yeah, there's something's going to happen.
Like, that's the only reason you show that.
He's putting up with too much, and sometimes they break.
You had that kind of with the Brainiac stuff. Remember where he's killing himself and he's doing all that, and you get that. So as you're building that up, but that's Brainiac. He's snapped. But that's now you have John Henry. I'm like, I don't know. I don't like it. But then we go to Metropolis, because this is kind of in the past. Then we go to Metropolis. It's not kind of, it is. And there's King Shazam. I'll always call him Black Adam, but he's there. And I swear to God, I thought they told him last issue how long he's been dead, but he just keeps yelling it. He really wants to know. He wants the semantics of it. Like, he can look around. Shit's changed. He says it, and yet he needs the exact number, and it just...
But would 3,000 years to him be the same as what he thinks a year is?
I don't know what he would think. He was a little kid. He ended up being Pharaoh for 8 days.
Did they even know what a year was back then?
I guess. He's a season.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, well, the seasons have changed this many times. Well, it kind of was the same. Actually, you know what you would do? Because I did tell you before, it would be the flooding of the Nile. So he would be like, I've been dead 3,000 floodings?
Yeah, 3,000 floodings.
Yeah, because it would end up doing that. One of the craziest things of the Nile is like the south is the top and it's all fucked up. Like there's some crazy
goes opposite,
shit with
right?
Yeah, it goes opposite.
Yeah,
It throws me
explain
up
that
all
one.
the time. So you end up where how long was I dead? How long was I dead? You ended up having John Henry was there because he was going to kill Raish. So he's mad. He's there with his hammer and his human bomb looking costume while they're trying to deal with Black Adam, King Shazam, while also Talia is there with old man Raish, who wants to be, the second cut. He's born again Raish, who thinks he's Moses, because he's just talking, love and peace
it's
and whatever.
Dude, now
Nobody wants to hear it from him because most people have been screwed by him. And that's, again, he does try to convince, even Black Adam. But Black Adam wants to kill him. You had me in prison. Steel wants to kill him. You ended up doing this, my mom, all this stuff. He gets killed.
I do think he genuinely.
I think he changed.
I changed, but it's too late. He's done too many bad things.
I mean, this is the thing. Like I told my kids, you can say you're sorry. That's nice. People don't have to accept it. That's just how it is. You say you're sorry does not solve. It doesn't end the problem. The other person has to accept it, and to do that, they have to believe you. Yeah, King Shazam says, I can tell when people lie. You're lying, and kills them. I don't think he's lying. I think that he wants to change. Superman did inspire him, and that's another thing about this issue. And people could say, oh, they'll bring him back, whatever. It is weird because this issue is less Superman, but it's less hopeful. And you just ended up having a character who legit was inspired by Superman just get murdered right in front of us. And Superman kind of his thing of what he says is, yeah, I kind of wanted to do that too, but I don't go that far. And so you have Black Adam and him fight. That's where we said Black Adam gets punched, or Black Adam punches Superman 1,100 miles away, somewhere in Wyoming. And I'm telling you, you can convince me, possibly, that what I'm seeing is the dust cape. I think it's the blood of 1,000 people that he has killed. Like, he also avoids buffalo. Nope, I don't think he avoided all of them. He's
they do that in The Boys a lot, the show, where the fast guy, the Flash or whatever, runs through people.
That's how what's-his-name ends up being involved.
Yeah,
Simon Pegg or whatever.
Yeah, that's the original.
His girlfriend just is completely destroyed.
Yeah, and then it's funny because the last episode, it's wrapping up, so it's the last season.
Yeah.
And like Seth Rogen and all these actors are in it because they produce it.
Mhm.
and they all just get ran through.
They get run through.
They get run through too.
Yeah,
But
that's
it's
the
funny.
guy. You can't. Now, again, the Flash, they'll tell you that the Speed Force protects everybody. But
No, not in this.
So, not they're dead. But again, it's pretty big. But in the meantime, that's where you have all this, and Steel's about to just clobber him with that hammer. The hammer that could blow up at any time. Again, seems a lot like the human bomb, even. But he's like, I'm going to get you. This is for. And then the worst is, again, this will affect Steel probably because Black Adam comes in, King Shazam, and he just does it when Steel. So he never did get his revenge, even though the guy's dead. And he's like,
Yeah.
man, I'm sorry. We can make this better. We did some calculations. You've been dead for 3,000 years or left for dead. You've been in prison. I like that he throws it in at the one point. I swear to God, it's shade. You were Pharaoh for 8 days. I'm like, ooh, look at you.
Yeah, he was only
Yeah.
Pharaoh for 8 days when he's
8
acting
days.
like he was forever.
And
or
I
something.
guess what the play is that he's saying, like, I made shit better in 8 days. If I was able to stay, the world would be a paradise. It wouldn't be
Utopia.
the shithole.
Yeah.
Again, it's funny because he does say it where Ra's says, listen, absolute power is absolute, like you probably would have been corrupt as well. Like
Mhm.
I was. He says, I'm the blame for all this. And again, him admitting that, you kind of get like, yeah, he means it. He really does feel bad because Superman read letters to him. But Talia doesn't like it. But Talia's like in the background. She gets knocked around a bit. She just yells by the end. She's just kind of there, and Black Adam just kills him. But you have it. It's not off panel, but it might as well have been.
It's very graphic. They don't show it, but he's just being dismembered.
Yeah, he's just being ripped apart. His hands are
Like,
there.
no problem.
Told you they're throwing gang signs. But yeah, and then, Talia's like, Father. And
Would you pick up your dad's head and like talk to it?
No.
You wouldn't, right?
I might make jokes.
But you would
No,
grab it like,
No. I'd get the hell out of
alas,
there.
I
I think I'm next. I'd run. You've running before that. But yeah, so even at one point, Talia was kind of mad. Like, you had this guy in the basement and we dealt with that Brainiac bullshit. And that's the other thing is it's a weird play with King Shazam. Because he's really mad at Brainiac. But there was almost a point where I thought Jason Aaron was playing the idea of like, how to say this, but hey, anybody who had slaves, they're long dead. Like he ends up, everybody who wronged you and that brings, they're long gone. Like, come on, let's do some things now. And no, Shazam doesn't want to do it. Black Adam's pissed. And then you have the deal where you punch out. I hope people are out of this building too. I mean, there's shit going down. Like you punch out of the building, you end up all these things. Black Adam just keeps yelling and screaming about, I was the Pharaoh, I'll make things better. Oh, you're a copy of me. They made you to replace me. Clark's or Kal-El's kind of like, no, I'm not a copy of you. But they both have these sand.
they have similar
Apes
powers, though.
Deal.
I mean,
They have
it's-
because he says you got glowing eyes. Holy shit!
Yeah.
They made you instead of me. Probably thinks that he was promised stuff from Brainiac. All that stuff that happened to him, we know it's different. I have a feeling we're going to find out it's not as different as we think, maybe, with some of the tech that they had on Krypton. But you have all this going on. It's kind of cool when they do fly off. It looks like King Shazam, Black Adam is like a crow type thing. It's kind of neat. And they go above this. Finally, they go above the city. And,
After blasting through that building. the
yeah,
entire
I'm telling
thing.
you that there really isn't anything left in Metropolis, but they're up in the air again. Just keep on going about, hey, you're here, you're a slave. I could have made this better, and you end up having Superman just like, come on, like I'm not a copy of you or any man. You can do the right thing, and it's just a lot of yelling and screaming while you have Steel like, okay, what am I going to do? These cops show up and they're like, freeze, put down your weapon. He's like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to do that. And he launches kind of like Iron Man. And I kind of call bullshit.
Why?
He does go up and he smashes King Shazam in the face, right? He gets him with the hammer. That's fine. But
Yeah, you
when
need to
they're
explain to me what happened here.
when they're
'cause-
going subsonic, transonic,
Yeah.
there is no way rocket boots are keeping up with that.
So he's flying along with these two,
Yeah,
right?
he seems to be going
All
along with
three
them.
of them.
Yep, they're just flying around like they're going. I get it that you have Superman and King Shazam, but the idea that he's
No.
keeping up, there's no way. And
No.
I kind of thought that maybe
Iron
when they
Man
go
couldn't
over-
even do that.
Yeah, no. When they go over the pyramids, I thought that King Shazam was going to stop for a little selfie. Hey, look, like maybe if that was the play where at the end they go to that, and that was Superman's ploy to lead him to Egypt, kind of get him to stop,
Mm-hmm.
I would have said that's pretty smart. They just fly by. He doesn't care. They go by.
Look at the Batmans.
Yeah, and then the Batman's is watching. Look at
That
him.
stupid cape.
I like that he's just standing there.
Where is
Like,
he? He's up
what
on
would
one of them, those 5G towers.
Yeah, he's on the 5G tower. I think that he's on the 5G tower on his own personal AI fucking warehouse that he has underneath it.
Yeah. But yet he has no money.
Well, what is he thinking this is? Like he's just watching. It looks like a comet
I
going
know, that
by.
looks like the end of the world to me.
There's no way he'd know what it is.
No.
But he's like, okay. And that's it. I swear to God, I thought it said subsonic, transonic, supersonic, hypersonic, March 25th.
Mm-hmm.
I was, Mach 25. Again,
That's the fastest one? Mach
I don't
25?
know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that is. That's like Speed Racer's car times 10.
Is that how fast the Artemis rocket was going?
Actually, times 5. It might be. I think it is. This is Speed Racer has the
50,000
Mach
miles
5,
an hour
right?
or something?
Yeah, just going through. Batman saw that too. But yeah, he's there. I'm like, and then if you're going to do that, I'm actually surprised because you end up, it looks like the Himalayas, you have the Eiffel Tower. You end up having down
Paris,
in Brazil, right? So
Brazil, yeah.
wouldn't you think one of these would have been Themyscira?
Yes.
That's what I thought. I'm like, why don't they show that at least or whatever? I don't know, but there's Batman. I just wish he said something because what he'd say is, holy shit. Like
Something,
that's
yeah.
all. And he's like, oh my God, I saw a comet. And then people are like, oh, listen to you. Last week it was flat Earth. Now it's a comet. Also, he's probably upset about the chemtrail.
And the drones, don't forget about that.
Yeah, the drones, all of it. So, yeah, so they go and because then when they pop out, you have, Steel's there. I'm like, there is no way.
Yeah, that didn't add up to me.
His boots would be on fire, too.
I thought he
but-
would have just hit him and then they would have flown, but without
Yeah.
him.
So, King Shazam just keeps beating up Superman, and when they crash, their capes kind of dissipated away. Maybe they were over, and it really threw me off because all of a sudden, from when he punches Superman from the back, it looks like Garth, Aqualad. That costume does not look the same now.
Without all the stuff.
Yeah, and he's like beating the crap out of him. Like, well, what does he have against the Aqua family?
You do, there is
Just beat
something.
him up.
Your point earlier, though, there is something because their costumes look very
Yeah.
similar.
Yeah, and
that
they
dust
both have the
stuff on 'em.
dust, which
So,
plays out cooler for Black Adam to have it because
Black
of the
Adam's
Egyptian deal.
probably he's probably Kryptonian in origin.
I'm thinking that he's like it's
An earlier
more,
Kryptonian,
that
maybe.
he's King Shazam, but in my mind, he's already Zod. He seems to be like the absolute Zod.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's called that or whatever, but that's how it seems to play.
So he's
for me.
Kryptonian.
Because again, Zod, yeah, I think he might be. And the idea where what does Zod wants his ways back. He's always mad. He thinks that you're in a. It's very much like that. So but also it does have a lot of Black Adam in it. So I think that's kind of cool.
Mhm.
And I don't mind King Shazam. I think it's stupid that he's not Black Adam. But I don't know. This issue's just real dark. And then to make it darker, you have this Hawkman come down.
Well, anytime
Surprised
that guy shows up, it's
I'm
dark.
surprised he still doesn't have the blood of Green Arrow on that stupid mace. That mace
Yeah.
looks like those bombs I was telling you
Yeah.
earlier. Yeah, it's weirded me out.
Mine.
But yeah, so he shows up and he's like, hey, what's up with you there, Steel? What are you doing? I've been doing this 80 years and tell me something. And then he says, man, the superhero stuff's getting out of hand. So you have Steel, who is a little warped, right?
Mhm.
And was going to kill a man, even though it was Raish. So he's kind of a little shady. You got King Shazam, who's completely unhinged. Pharaoh for 8 days, the guy thinks he's something. And, he has that power. Also, look at their arms, too. It's almost the same exact deal.
Yep.
Going where their arms kind of look like there's like molten lava going through their veins. You have Superman, who's a good guy. Hawkman is not good. He's part of the whole but he seems to want to try to get back on the right side of things and maybe convince some people. But he's usually trying to convince people not to do it because it's not worth it. But we also know he killed Green Arrow, so he's not a hero. So these superheroes, I'm glad that he has it in quotes because they're not quite super. Even a Batman, like of all of them, I mean, Cal's pretty good, but
Wonder Woman's a definite
Wonder Woman's
superhero.
the best. Wonder Woman
but
is
she
the
still has
hero.
ties to hell and stuff, though. So it's weird.
Well, don't we all? That's what I say. But again, I'm not reading Flash anymore.
Flash is a good guy.
But again, does it seem like Martian Manhunter's a hero in that book? No.
And who
I
even
don't know
knows
what
what
the hell it is.
Green Lantern? Who even is the Green Lantern in that? I don't even know.
I don't know. I was wondering who's reading.
I gave up on it.
I did too. So we have the Absolute Green Arrow coming out, which that
That'll
might
be
be cool. We have the Absolute Catwoman. But she's not going to be a hero. They're all like anti. But again, that fits the universe that's tainted by the dark Omega energy of Darkseid.
Mm-hmm.
So it does work. Now, does it seem weird to you, like since KO, it feels like it's weird to say about Darkseid universe kind of deal because I don't know, just doesn't seem as big or pushed. But
I don't.
But it's definitely
I don't get that
universe.
at all. I mean, they keep telling me that it's affecting the universe and it's darker, but I don't know if it's because of Darkseid. It just seems.
It just seemed like how they're playing the Big Bang used the Omega energy, and that's how it made it darker. But that's my complaint.
But
right
everyday
away
people aren't
Manhunter.
darker, though. They're regular.
But we don't
people.
see them. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's true.
But you would think that you could go with the idea that they seem to go with Lazarus, and they seem bad to the bone, like on the Front Street.
Yeah.
So maybe that's it. But it's also the government. But maybe maybe everybody's 2% meaner. But if you're like me and you, that just means you're 2% mean because we're nice guys.
0. Yep.
Now, actually, we were -1. So and maybe it's one of those with as you get power, the absolute power corrupts you, like you said. But it's even with these deal. But yeah, Batman. You can't say that Batman's a great guy. He's completely screwed over his buddies. Like they're all down. But Wonder Woman, she's good. But maybe that's the play too. Maybe what we talked earlier when Aphrodite said, "Well, I'm going to give her this goodness," so people like that had to be given because of how shit is the world. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe is she only good because she got that from her?
That's what I'm saying. Maybe that I played the idea as like, oh man, Steve Trevor will fall in love, and she won't know if he. Maybe that was a play of us liking her. Like it was a meta thing.
Yeah, we got the trance so that we like her from that magic. Yeah.
Maybe I like that even more.
Yeah.
But it's kind of a play where that was a new thing, it seemed. And it makes sense a little bit more now that we're talking about it. The idea that you have to up that love level because nobody in this world is nice. So you have to be convinced to be.
Mm-hmm. You have to be tricked.
It's crazy. But again, like you said, it never really played out in book type of thing. But I was saying, I that was one of the things that I was upset about Absolute Martian Manhunter, where I said, I don't think Dennis Camp realizes that he's playing the idea of anger and everybody hating each other, but making it a Martian Manhunter thing, making it a White Martian thing, when in fact the universe is set up to be that originally. So it kind of ended up, I don't know, it didn't feel right for me. And then I read the book and didn't know what the hell was going on. That's what really didn't feel right for me. And again, just to tell people, we don't do the Martian Manhunter on this show.
Yeah.
We have been doing it on our Patreon. It has been picked on the poll every time it's come up. Me and Simon talk about it. And I haven't liked it from issue 1. Simon liked it a lot. And even
he used
called
to
me
insult
stupid.
You.
He would insult me.
That's why you started doing it with him, because...
and that's the thing. He wasn't insulting me on the show. He was insulting me in our Slack chat, saying I was dumb.
Your intelligence,
And so I just want to say, once again, I was right. Because he doesn't like it.
What
now.
would you say your average score is for that as a whole? That
4.5.
I'd go 4.
I'd probably say 4.
And that's all
in
art.
between there. Yeah, and I don't love the art. It's not my favorite.
It's what sells. It's got to be. I mean, it's a story. It's not.
I tell people, like, you love the... Now, they could say, well, you're, giving a what is or what if kind of thing.
Well,
but
why
if without
I know
that
it's
art,
the
it
art?
wouldn't have sold.
You know why I know it's the art? Because they don't come out with any issues without that artist.
Yeah, well,
because they know
smart.
that if they do that nobody's going to buy it.
Again, the book gets 10s, and when you read these blurbs are like, I don't know what's going on, but man, I don't get it anywhere else, and it looks great. Well, you can't say that after 10 issues. You got to have some inkling, and I don't.
I can point you to some comics in the past from that same artist that are way better than this one.
Really?
Yeah, of course. He's not going
because they're probably
better writers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like the idea that that's all people need. They need one of the two. And then it's no. Why can't we have both?
Yep.
I want to be like that little girl. Can't we have both? That's all I need. And I'm more of a story guy. So, and I hate to go through something where you're 10 issues and you're still worried that it might not land at the end. That to me is not great. Yeah, I'm not a big fan. Did we give a score for this?
No.
What's our score for this?
I can almost go 9, but I'll go 8.5.
Yeah, I'm going 7.5.
Okay.
I thought it was a little dark. It's
very
got
dark.
some setups and it's some cool stuff. I need more Superman. And the book got better when it was like, man, this is more like Superman. I think it's because it was more hopeful. Superman was acting like, I'm not saying he doesn't act like Superman. He just doesn't do much. It's a King Shazam issue. And he's just beating the living crap out of Superman. Yeah, I thought it was a little down. But I do like the art. I do like what Jason Aaron's doing. And at one point I said that I thought like Superman was just about equal with the other two. The last issue of Batman really upped the ante for that. And I think Wonder Woman's still better than this, but it's still my third favorite.
Yeah.
So it's my third favorite of the three I read. But I'm not going to drop it. I think it's good. So I like it. So that is that. So thanks everybody. Like we said earlier, maybe I did. Yeah, I did. Next week we have Batman. Absolute Batman. So I'm going to try to get a hold.
That one seems like it's going to be
Ray.
a banger. I don't know what those Robins and stuff.
Yeah.
That looks cool.
I actually have an early deal I could send you.
No, I don't need it. I like the mint condition copies.
Yeah. I think this is somebody taking pictures.
Yeah, I'm not going for that.
This guy's on the down low. He sends me that and pictures of strippers.
I can get down with.
Well, you can get down with it. If I get caught with that, all of a sudden podcast
like real
ends.
strippers.
Yeah, He lives in Vegas. Oh, he said he'll send me in 2 days span. He'll send me pictures of him and his kids and Disney, and then the next day strippers.
What a maniac!
What a life!
Yeah,
the guy has. But he does also send me like pictures of the gas prices. Pooey. And also the temperature. During the summers, he'll send me it's like 125 degrees. Like that is insane.
Yep.
Yeah, so, but that's that. But I think he did. I've been keeping off of X. Off of
I'm
X
surprised. You know what? It's
Twitter.
Get Fresh Crew, whatever, Slack chat people, maybe less X links to stuff and do something more relevant like TikTok or Instagram.
I don't really hang out on X much.
It's annoying. I don't like it.
This guy.
If you send me a link on X, I'm not even looking at it. Half the
just
time, I don't even know what stuff is.
I don't. Somebody sent me a thing, and I guess it's because it's with Yingling beer,
mm-hmm.
and it's
Pennsylvania brewery.
It's Anakin and Padme and Obi-Wan. I've seen a security hologram of Anakin killing Yinglings, and he's there like
younglings.
So this guy ended up sending it to me. I'm like, what is that?
Remember when he slaughtered all those younglings?
Yeah, it was awesome.
It's crazy.
I like when he explains it. He's like, I killed them all. Like Padme's like, it's fine. There was no. I killed the children.
You know what the crazy part about that whole thing is? Like, he didn't kill them all. There's so many that escaped.
Well, you know, Tatooine wasn't big on closing the border, I guess. I don't know. When he did that, though, the worst is the young when he goes and kills the trainees in the Jedi Temple. That's bad.
Yeah,
Sand people. I mean, really?
Well, the Sand people, they killed his mom, so
yeah. But he killed them all. He says.
But it's also too like, oh, Luke Skywalker, he's the last Jedi. Meanwhile, every single piece of media that comes out has a new Jedi.
Superman's the last son of Krypton. Really? Like, it's like, well, I am technically like, Get out of here. There's like 8 million of you.
8 million.
You
There's
got
all bottled city.
You got a reign of Superboys going on. There's too many to count.
There's a million people in that Candor.
Freaking bottled city. Those
you
people
know
are
they're
insane.
banging and reproducing in there.
You would go in after a week and that thing would be filled.
Yeah.
Bunch of people and a bunch. I hope that there's something on the bottom. You get rid of the waste. Or it's like Soylent Green. They're in there eating themselves in their waste. Those Kandorians are completely insane. Never should they be freed. Never.
Does Superman ever build him like a new wing or something or a new habitat?
All Superman does is give them broken promises and figure it out shit. When do we ever see? Anytime they get out, it's because they break out. Zod comes in and grabs them, whatever. And the minute they get out, they go completely insane and start killing everybody. That's it. They're lucky they're just in an old wine jug. What it looks like.
And when he visits too, he loses his powers, right? A lot of times. So like, why don't they just tear him up, kill him?
They should. Now he's not allowed in. Supergirl's the envoy, and they're mad at her. So she's in the now current she's in the bottled city of Kandor fighting Black Flame, who's upset because the teens aren't understood. But in the meantime, you end up having Lena Luthor and also Cal, or Connor, I believe it is, who's in there with them. And shit's just gone wrong. So it does end up looking like these young toughs from Kandor. They're like some warriors, freaking biker gang. Pretty funny. Nobody's reading that book.
Not me.
Me and Brad. We're the only ones.
Triple B.
We have fun. We actually liked it at one point, but then it turned into just laughing at the fashions of these young toughs that are in there causing problems. Pretty funny. Oh, but that's a little bonus talk there.
Yep.
Because of Anakin. All right. Well, speaking of which, we will be, if you are interested in the Marvel, we are planning on doing a Marvel show this week, but we also have our regular DC Comics podcast each and every week. And if you want to hear some bonus shows of all sorts of comics, you can go to our Patreon, patreon.com/weirdscience. That'll be in the show notes. But yeah, we have some fun books to talk about at the Marvel. They keep trying to push out Star Wars books. They're never good. They're never good. So the funny thing, they have a Rogue One book where Rogue One, in my mind, should have stayed as the crawl of New Hope. I'm one of the few that didn't like it. But
yeah, you're in the minority.
So that has that little bit that they make a movie. Now this book takes the little bit that was in the movie, and they're just squeezing anything they can out of this thing. Like it's not good. But
they made 2 seasons of Andor too, so
yeah,
and those were like an hour-long episode.
And people like that too.
Yeah, it's great.
I won't watch it. I didn't. I'm telling you,
you don't like Diego Luna. He's good though.
Yeah,
you don't like his jerk-off face. You said
Diego Luna has come up and anytime that he's mentioned, I think of Pablo Pascal. I don't know who Pascal. These people are.
Mandalorian.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know.
Well, Pedro Pascal's in every movie for the past 3 years.
That's who I thought it was, and then I'm like, no, it's this Diego Luna. I'm like, I don't know who that is.
He's a Mexican actor. Diego
I know.
Luna.
Lana Del Rey. Are they related?
Maybe.
That's all I know. But that's it. We'll get out of here. See, we kept the nonsense till the end. So people would just tune out then, which they probably did. So that is it. But thanks, everybody. We'll be back, like I said, next week, hopefully, with Gray. And then coming up soon, we have the Absolute Green Arrow. We have a couple other books that we'll be joining in. We'll give those a shot when they come out. Just not those other nonsense ones. But there's a big event coming up, so that'll be pretty crazy. So thanks, everybody, and we'll talk to you later.